This is a Zeiss IKON Vectorprofil Rippe Extra sk6. It's a 6-pin lock from Zeiss IKON with the usual Zeiss IKON style tapered spools. And this lock has up to 5 side pin chambers that actuate a sidebar that forms a secondary mechanism that holds the lock closed. As you can see, only 3 of the side pins are populated in this particular lock. Also, the keyway is quite nasty, and when picking the sidebar, there's a nasty surprise because there are a couple of sidebar channels where the sidebar gets stuck and needs to be repicked. This itself is not as hard as it might seem because the side pins have no false gates. Here you can see the secondary bitting on the side of the key. Here's the usual bitting. The lock can have also some passive elements inside it, but these are not populated. Here you can see the normal pin chambers. There's a sidebar groove and up to 5 chambers for up to 5 pins. This video is a bit backward than usual because the gutting of this lock is quite a pain, especially because the side pins are quite hard to remove from the core. So I decided to go backward. So we'll try and assemble the lock. We'll start with the sidebars, springs, only chambers 1, 2 and 4 were populated. The pins itself, their top gets stuck to the Bible, and it prevents the pin from getting too high and preventing the sidebar from, or not the sidebar, prevents the jamming of the key when the key is inserted. If the pin is too high, it's not possible to insert the key. So the fact that there are no false gates in this lock makes picking the sidebar relatively easy compared to things like twin combi and other locks of this style. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here's the sidebar. Nothing too fancy. So as you can see, when the pins are too high, the key cannot be inserted. Okay, so the sidebar is working. Because the sidebar groove is continuous, it would be still possible to pop out the core, so I will put the cam in, although at this point it just holds the core in. It can't get actuated by the core. Okay. Now let's populate the chambers. Just to be sure everything's the way it should be. Okay. Come on. Okay. So now let's try and pick this lock. First one to bind is spool chamber 3. Should be set. Chamber 4 seems to be set 2, or well, let's say engaged. The spools are tapered, so they need a couple of nudges to really sit down and get at the shear. Now I'm going to try and set the spool chamber 2. So hopefully it's engaged too. I would say this is the key to the relatively quick opening of Zeiss IKON locks, to set the spools as soon as possible. Okay, so standards are not binding, so spools need a couple more taps. It's just back and forth between those. A bit more tension can speed up the process somewhat. Now let's see, pin number 6. So okay, the spools seem to be okay. Pin number 1 seems to be binding. Set 2 is, come on, 1 set, 2 is set, 3 seems to be set, 4 seems to be jiggly, 5 needed a push. One is springy, 2 springy, 3 is springy, 4 needed a bit. Now it's just the good old tapered fun. 2 needed a push. 5 needed a push. Okay. Now we are held by the sidebar, and I gotta switch tensioners to get better access to it. One is springy, 2 seems to be bound, hopefully set. Come on. Try to touch 4, Come on. Okay. Small core movement, and we are picked. And as I said, there's another sidebar groove, so to get behind it, we need to set the pin number 2 and 1 again, and we are free for most of the rotation. So this was the Zeiss IKON Vectorprofil Rippe Extra sk6. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.